We've said that this new menu item should point to a list page in a restaurants folder. So let's go to our project, and in the pages folder, I want to add a new folder, and we will call this restaurants. I then want to right click on restaurants and say that I want to add a new item. And in this case, what I want to add is a Razor page. Now, for those of you who are not using Visual Studio, I'll give you some tips on how to generate this page in the next clip. But regardless of what you're using to create this Razor page, we want the name of the page to be list.cshtml. And in Visual Studio, I can say the name is just list. And what this will do is create really two files inside of my folder, list.cshtml and list.cshtml.cs. The first file is technically my Razor page. You can see it has what's known as an @page directive that tells ASP.NET Core, yes, I am a Razor page. And then it has another directive, the model directive with a lowercase m. And this directive says that the model for this page is of type list model. In other words, an instance of the list model class is the object that this page will use to display information. If we want to display restaurant information, then list model will need to contain restaurant information. And list model is the class that we can see defined in the .cs file, which is nested behind list.cshtml. So you can see this forms in Visual Studio a little tree node that I can collapse and expand. Now, if you're familiar with ASP.NET MVC and the model view controller design pattern, then I just want to point out that list.cshtml is very much going to be the view in the MVC design pattern. Whereas the code that I place into my .cs file for the list model, the methods here are going to be very much like controller actions, and the properties are going to be very much like the models that I would pass into a view. And if you don't know about ASP.NET MVC, then don't worry. You don't need to know about the history of this framework to be successful with this course. But right now, all I want to do is make sure that this list Razor page is working properly. So let me add a header to the page, and we'll just say restaurants. I'm going to save that page. I'm going to come out. I'm going to refresh the browser to make sure that ASP.NET Core picks up the existence of this page. And with the browser refreshed, I'm going to click on restaurants and hopefully see that I am rendering this new Razor page that I created.